Hello ladies and gentlemen, and Idiot Imports is sponsored by PlayAsia, who most likely supplied this game to me unless I specifically mentioned that they didn't. You can follow the affiliate link in the description to buy this game from PlayAsia to support me and my channel, and you can use the coupon code BLUEVITA to save $3 off your order. Thanks for your support, enjoy the show. Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Blue Maxima, and I'm here checking out Ukiyo no Roushi. And I have no idea if I'm saying that right, so don't even start in the comments. Don't even start. So, this game is a little odd. This came out back in, it'd be 2014, was it? Or 2015, I can't remember which. And they had the odd idea of advertising it as a project that wasn't a new Way of the Samurai title. Like, specifically not a Way of the Samurai title. Not like its own thing in and of itself. It's not a new Way of the Samurai. Because that was published by Spike Chunsoft. And this is also published by Spike Chunsoft. So, or Spike, before they merged with Chunsoft. But, yeah, I'm not entirely sure what they were thinking there. So, we'll just load into my game straight away. Unfortunately, I can't tell you exactly how long I've been playing for, but it's been at least 3 hours. Because this game has got a lot of stuff that you have to go through in order to get everything. I just got everything. Like, I'm pretty sure that I've gotten everything that I can in terms of, like, gameplay mechanics up to this point. So, we're just going to load in, go around, do a couple of things, explain how the game works and all that. This also had a sister game on the PS3 by the name of Ukiyo no... I keep thinking sushi, but I know that's not right. But... oh well, let's just go then, shall we? So, here we are in Samurai period Japan, as all of these games take place in. Seriously, there's a lot of games that take place in Samurai period Japan. And we can have a little bit of a wander around and do a couple of things. There are a few things we can do in the menu, and thankfully the menu's actually pretty self-explanatory. You've got a map which lets you check around the place. You can check for all the different icons and stuff like that. Yeah, there's the, legend there going on. From top to bottom, it's your player, the main quest, the people you can talk to, the people you can buy stuff from, side quest locations, fast travel, and a place you can transition to another area. And you can zoom out to see all the other different maps as well. There's a bunch of places you can go in this game. Not that many, but there's a fair few areas, and they're all pretty expansive, so it's not like it's a small game by any means. You've got the quest menu here, which will let you see a story summary of all the things like missions and cutscenes and stuff you've seen up to this point. And you can actually replay some of the missions. Or at least I think you can. I haven't tested that, but it looks like you can. And there's also some side mission stuff here. There's a request board for your actual side missions. This is a glossary, and the thing below it. What was this one again? Oh yeah, this is the faction relationship. Which, honestly, I can't understand to save my life, so really no point. Ukio system is interesting, and I'll go over that shortly. You can take along items, and different items can have different effects, obviously. So you've got things like health potions, stamina potions, and other things, like things that'll give you bleed on your attacks and stuff like that. You've got materials that you get from fallen enemies, but we'll go over that as well. You can come here to equip your weapons and stuff like that. There's a bunch of different kinds of weapons, and they all have different attacks, different attack patterns, sorry. And they also have different strengths, different abilities. So, for example, this one here, you can see that I've got, honestly, I have no idea what that is, because if you, what's that button again? It's one of these buttons. No, it's not that. That is to throw it away. One of these buttons here will give you, there it is, it's the ability list. So you can see all the different abilities, but yeah, as you can see, you have to find it in this list and then translate it, which is a little annoying. Some weapons have these special abilities, some don't. They also have your forging level, which really doesn't matter. Your attack, your is that speed? I think that's speed. I can't remember what it is now. God damn it. Durability, so you have to get your weapon repaired, but it's pretty easy to do that. I can't remember what that one does. God damn it, me. Here you can come to unlock different special abilities for all the different kinds of weapons. You can also unlock special skills, which are things like, they're things like special attacks. So you can get one special attack on every different kind of weapon, and you can also get one kind of finishing move. And you didn't get these until just now, so I'll have to try them out. But seriously, I've been playing this game for like 4 hours. I have a good idea of how everything else goes. You've got a log of Honestly, I've got no idea what this is supposed to be logging. It doesn't log the chat lines. I'm going to assume it logs something else. And you can also come here to check your stats, and as you can see, I've been through 22% of the story missions already, which is a fair amount, and 4% of the side quests, which is not much. And the game requires you to collect all the different weapons and all the different skills for those weapons in order to get platinum, so have fun with that. This is your options menu. Oh man, I translated these before, and again, I don't remember what they are. I think they're camera settings. Look, yeah, it looks like camera settings to me. This is obviously sound sliders. The sound sliders are fine, by the way. I don't remember what all these are, but they're there if you want them. God, I need to remember what some of these are, don't I? I know... oh yeah, I remember one of these is subtitles. Don't ask me how I remember just that. That's your cross save, and I believe that takes you back to the main menu, but that also takes you back to the main menu, so... It's a little odd, but yeah, very simple menu, not much to go over, thankfully. So we can go have a little bit of a wander around, and if I hold X, I'll start running. Well, if I press X, I'll start running, and I've run into someone, so he's going to want to fight me, so I'm going to want to fight him. So this is how the combat works in this game. I get hit from behind, like always. So, you move around, obviously. You don't have a lock-on, which is annoying in this sort of combat. You can block, you've got a regular attack. You've also got an attack, triangle button that you can hold down to do a more powerful attack. If you hold R and press square with a one-handed weapon, you can grab them and do, well, what's basically a throw. You can use a triangle button when you've got your sword sheath to jump. I don't know why you do that though. You do have this launcher mode here, which will let you do a few extra hits in the air. Fairly useful. You can parry. If one of these two will attack me, I can try and demonstrate the parry. Come on. Anytime now, please. Hey. Hello. As soon as I go for the goddamn grab. I'll just hit him. Notably, if you... Oh, wow, that guy is actually an enemy. Alright. So yeah, now I've got 3 guys gunning for me. That'll be fun. Okay, I guess I won't be demonstrating the parry anytime soon. But basically, time a block perfectly right, and you get the window to do a hold triangle counter attack, which is nice. That's meant for, the holding triangle attack is meant for breaking block, but frankly, considering I've only been using one-handed weapons all this time, there are two-handed weapons, like dual swords and stuff like that. And they're useful for dealing out more damage over a faster period. That's a Ukio. Again, we'll get over that shortly. Oh. Apparently everybody else doesn't care anymore. Alright. So yeah, the holding triangle attack is meant for breaking the guard, but at the same time, you can just throw them with single-handed weapons. It's a lot more useful. So anyway, before I get into another fight or anything like that, let's come up here to the side quest area. Now, you get side quests depending on your progress in the story. The more you go into the game, you'll get more side quests. And thankfully, the most part in this game, both the main quests and the side quests will very helpfully point you in the right direction, basically. So we've got a side quest right here that we can go do. They'll put the markers on your map. You don't have to do any sort of filling around with translation or stuff like that just for the quests or anything, which is nice.
Hey. Thank you.
It's a foreigner? Okay, with really red skin. What happened to him? Is he turning into Hellboy? I got no idea what's going on. Why is his skin red? There is a lot of story and stuff going on in this game. But the problem with the story text is that sometimes it displays in this sense here, where it's a thing that you can... It was on auto by default, and I could have turned it off, but I didn't. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Why is he so strong? Okay, never mind. We'll just stop that right there and then. That was a bit shocking. I'm not entirely sure what that was about. Alright. We will avoid that side quest from now on, and maybe we'll head towards our main quest. Because I believe that also takes me in the direction of some of the other game's mechanics, so we can just wander in that direction and hope for the best. I am being chased by an enemy, but I can just outrun him, which is nice. So yeah, as I was saying, the story in this game has a lot of those sort of scenes where it lets you just proceed manually and read through the text, but it also does both pre-rendered FMV cutscenes and 3D model not pre-rendered cutscenes, and you can't translate the subtitles in that fast enough. So yeah, I really haven't been paying attention to the story. It's well, it's alright, I guess. It's not exactly well done, but it's alright. It does the job. It's just, again, since I can't read it, no real point in actually sticking around and watching it, so that's a thing. While I'm here, I might as well show off what the Blacksmith can do. The Blacksmith, well, you might have noticed that when I defeated that guy, I picked up his sword. Well, if we come here to the Blacksmith, and it's the third one, not the second one. If we come here to the Blacksmith, we can hand over the swords that we have for the purpose of getting materials. So we can use those materials to both upgrade our swords and to make new swords. You can't make any swords that you haven't seen already, so it's mainly just a, hey, if you want to try this sort of weapon sort of thing going on, you can just, like, use that. You can just use that to build yourself a new sword. You can also imbue elements and special abilities into the weaponry, but I don't have the resources I need to do that yet, unfortunately. This one means you give 20% more damage. Or maybe it means that you take 20% less durability. I can't be sure. Google Translate on these sorts of games never exactly gives you exactly what you're looking for. It sucks a little bit, honestly. Alright, first thing I need to do is, not that. I need to repair this sword. And, yeah, there we go. Doesn't even cost you any material to do that. It's fine. So, yep, you can spend money here to upgrade your weaponry. And, yeah, oddly enough, there's a completely random option here. I wonder what that's about. Oh, it's actually a decent upgrade. Who would have thought? But yeah, as you can see, this has been my, this sword here has been my main weapon for most of the game at this point. I found it really early on, so it was a bit weird. It was a bit weird that I found this sword just so fast, and then next thing I knew, I'd, brain work with me here. I'd go on and just start using it for the entire chapter because it was insanely strong. I just gotta remember where to go to equip it now. It's the 5th one, then the 1st one, then that. There we go. Now I've got a fairly stronger sword. You do leveling up in this game, as I showed off before via the little skill tree over here, but as far as I can tell, there's no actual stat leveling or anything like that, which is interesting. So you get points by defeating enemies up in the top right there, and you can use that to unlock skills, and it's not a very complicated system, I'll say that much. This guy here is one of a million different kinds of shops. There's shops all over the place, and they all sell different items, which is the most annoying thing, because you never know exactly, well, I mean, you might remember who's got the particular thing that you might want. It's just hard to remember, because there's like 10 freaking shops in the first few areas alone, and there's like 25 overall. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to this story event here. I'm going to let the story event play out. It has to, it's a loading zone. I'll go to a story event. I'll let it play out. If we pass by a Ukiyo station on the way, and I know it sounds like I'm saying Yu-Gi-Oh, but seriously, it's U-K-I-Y-O. Like, how else am I supposed to pronounce it that doesn't sound like Yu-Gi-Oh? But yeah. So we actually do have a Ukiyo station here. So the idea with the Ukiyo is that you saw one at the end of my fight with that little guy near the beginning of the video. And you can also do it manually. The idea is if you hit up on the D-pad, you can go into what's basically a sort of camera mode. And this camera mode can be used to take pictures. And the pictures get converted into this style of Japanese art. Like, I know there's a name for it, I just can't for the life of me remember it. And you can use these pictures to do side quests. And these side quests will allow the blacksmith to, I'm trying to think of, use extra, abilities on the swords. It's the only way to get some of the sword abilities. So, it's an interesting thing, but the problem is that a bunch of the quests that I've already got for this side mechanic here are take a photo of something that translates to a Japanese name that I don't exactly have much knowledge about Japanese culture to know what exactly it's referring to. So it asked me to take a picture of something called a Usaya or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it told me because seriously, it's a bit weird. And I don't know what that is, so I don't know how to go and get a photo of it. There are also ones that require you to go and get a photo with a specific skill. So you can go do that, and maybe you'll just stumble upon that if you're lucky, but unless you have some relatively experienced Japanese knowledge as to what refers to something back in this period, then you'll probably have a fair bit of trouble going through this part. This has been a pretty boring video, so I'm just going to hit this guy in the face and start another fight. The sword fighting overall is a little stiff, I'll put it that way. Like, it's just a bit... What's the word I'm looking for? Special ability by the... Yep, that's a parry. And you can... They can parry and you can parry back, which is actually kind of nice. Because it actually does add a little bit of extra challenge to the whole thing. You do also have a dodge. You actually have multiple dodges. And this is a special attack. You have multiple of these special attacks and they work on, what's the word I'm looking for? They work on either a single enemy basis or multiple enemies, which is nice. Because that means they're a little bit adaptable to whatever's going on. So you've got a fair amount of things going on, and as I said, it really just does feel a bit stiff. Like, you move a fair bit slowly and you can't lock onto a particular target as far as I can tell. So it can be kind of hard to orient yourself the right way. It reminds me of Yakuza in that sense, like the original one on PS1 where, well, you didn't even have the ability to lock on. Well, you did have the ability to lock on in that game, but you were always struggling to get facing in the right direction because of the lock-on in terms of like fighting multiple people at once, and that can happen a fair few times in this game as well. It's not the most satisfying thing in the world, I gotta say. Like, it's not terrible, not by any means. It's just... It looks fancy, it runs fine, and it's perfectly okay. It's just, it needs a little bit extra variety. I mean, you've got all the special attacks that you can do, but I've tried using a few of the weapons, and most of them aren't really that different. It isn't that, yeah, you can come in here to check your, in order to check what ones you've got here in terms of the little arts that you've got, and you can even sell them at some places for some extra money if you need them, which is a bit odd, but I won't question it. So yeah, let's go and let this story event play out. I might put us at a harder fight. Oh, never mind. Unfortunately, it's not really like a Way of the Samurai game where you can let things go the way you want and you can go and like kill anyone you feel like for the purpose of making the story go differently. And I mean, I've played through the entire first chapter of the game. There's only like 5 or 6 of them, and it's pretty much entirely linear. So it's a little bit of a shame like that. Excuse me. If this cutscene doesn't have voice acting, I'll just skip to the end of it.
Oh. 気を抜くな新入り。どこにいようと常に戦地にある心づもりでおらねば死ぬだけぞ。はい。俺見てきます。何をやってるんだ。その子を離せ。おいおい、身風呂じゃねえか。俺らと同類のくせに。 お楽しみを邪魔すんじゃねえよ。
オルイだと俺たちの娘さんを襲ったりしないぞ。
俺たちは国を変えるためいずれ立ち上がる日に向け日々鍛錬しておる。その俺たちを慰めるのは女冥利に尽きるというものだ。
堪忍してください。私にはもうすぐ祝言を挙げる許嫁が。
嫌がってるじゃないか。無粋なことはやめるんだ。
無粋だと幕府の犬が我らを愚弄するか。
生きがるなよ赤蔵。身の程を教えてやる。
向いたな。もうただでは済まん。
長倉さん、
デカブツまでいなかったのか。
何人いようが関係ねえ。まとめて我らの刀の錆にしてくれる。小島、今のうちぞ。
Alright, looks like we get another fight. That's okay. That's, interesting, actually. Like, most of the story stuff actually doesn't let you fight anybody or anything like that. It's weird. Like, you'll get a cutscene where you'll get a cutscene like that, for example, and then just, like, nothing will happen, and you'll just be told to go to the next story point. What else am I missing in terms of, like, talking? So the game's got multiple difficulty levels if you're wondering why this looks so easy. This is the second of 4, I think. So yeah, the game can definitely get a lot harder, and there's definitely more to it than just the than just this combat here. And considering that if you made the game harder, you'd want to get like a better sword, you'd want to upgrade it as much as possible, you'd want to do a lot of side quests, and thankfully with side quests you can actually redo them as many times as you like if you want the resources, which is kind of nice. And the, what's the word great, I had something in my head and then I just completely lost it. Ah, that's wonderful. Yeah, another cutscene like this. We've seen this. I can just hit select twice and it'll skip it. Will it pull me up against that weird guy we saw hiding behind the building? I don't think it will. Nope, we're just talking with him apparently. Yep. There are a lot of cutscenes in this game, and I really did just start like skipping them after a while. Nope, I'm about to get shot. Except I'm not. So I can do a picture of him and sign my name on it. Which is funny. Like, it just seems weird. Like, you automatically like sign your name on it when you like kill someone. So if someone was actually willing to hunt you down, they could just find your hundreds of Japanese line art paintings sitting with your name on them with confirmed drawings of your kills. That's a bit weird. Another cutscene? Another cutscene. That's a lot of cutscenes. Then again, considering I literally just started episode 2. Alright, we're back out here. So, I'll go see if I can find another side quest for us to do. Actually, this guy's the fast travel. I'll talk to him and see if he can take us somewhere closer to a, Oh. Alright, I'll talk to him again. Take me somewhere I can get some extra side quests, and we'll do, like, 1 or 2 more before we go to, before we finish the video off, basically. So, it's a shame that they didn't have the opportunity to localize this game when it came out, like Spike Chunsoft, because they basically made and, like, produced this whole game by themselves, more or less, and they would have been in the perfect place to do all the localization for it if it came out this year, but no, it hasn't come out at all. Yeah, you can take an absolute ton of side quests, and it leaves the icons all over the place. We got one to our slight west, so we can go do that. And every one of those boards has different side quests, so you want to go and visit all of them. It's an interesting little samurai game, I gotta say. Like, there's a fair amount to like about it. The combat is fun, if a bit simplistic. I wish there was more to it, but considering that I've yet to unlock a bunch of stuff related to all the weapons yet, that would make them more diverse. And considering that you know, that you have the ability to equip different abilities and stuff to them, that'd be great. The Ukiyo system where you take pictures of all the... Oh, God. Jesus, really? Okay. There we go. And yeah, the sword fighting is... Oh, God. The sword fighting is fun, don't get me wrong, and it gets interesting when you have the big boss characters that can do their own thing. Like, you've got a bunch of, like, grunt characters that spend a lot of time around just doing basically nothing and just being really boring, which is unfortunate. Oop, here comes his special attack, which I probably want to... Oh dear. I'm okay, I'm okay. I'm just gonna try and find those items that I just bought. There's one. Put that there, and walk away and try to eat that before I die. There we go. One more. I'm gonna get hit. The whole Ukio system with taking pictures of everything to do nice stuff. Like, I didn't show it off specifically, but the idea is that you actually, like, yeah, it does take account of what's in the photo that you've just what you've just taken. Christ, I'm doing bad at this. Yep, there goes all the benefit of that healing I just did. It's a neat system. I'd like the opportunity to actually, you know, use it proper. What the? I'd like the opportunity to dig in that system more. And, well, it's got... And the whole thing about this game when it first came out was there was this whole thing where they did this, they did this whole two-game thing where the PS3 version tells a different story from the Vita version, but they both take place in the same time frame. So, I would have liked to have seen the two games come out just to see what would have come of that little experiment, because that would have been kind of a neat thing to see. And if you like the look of this sort of, like, slow, deliberate, to the point of feeling somewhat clunky sword combat, and you know enough about Japanese culture in order to actually get the translated names of the objects right, you'll probably have a great time with this. I mean, it's not the best thing I've played in the world, but it's still pretty enjoyable for what it is. Can I actually, no. You gotta put away your sword before you attempt to take the photo, but I just missed it. Yep, I get a cash reward for that, and I can go and play that fight again anytime I want if I just go back to the board I got it from, which is kind of neat. He might actually, yeah, he gave me a sword. That's nice. So I got a sword for that. And it might actually have like a skill on it or something like that, so I'm gonna go have a look at that, just out of curiosity. It's a neat game. Like, I know I sound like I what's the word I'm looking for? Ragged on it a little bit, but I mean, the sword fight, oh, good lord. What sword is this? 2,000 damage, Jesus, that's a hell of a sword. Let's go see if I can find another side quest. I just need to zoom out here, then zoom into here. And is there another quest over here? I took a bunch of quests. Where are they? Oh, there's one up to the north here. Okay, let's go up to the north. And that'll be the last one. It's just a neat thing running around this little recreation of a Japanese town back in this time period. Talking to people, doing the sword fighting, and yeah, even that little photo taking little exercise thing is actually pretty neat as well. I mean, it's not an outright recommend, but I mean, you can play it pretty well without knowing too much Japanese. Just make sure you keep the make sure you keep the Google Translate app nearby and you'll probably be fine. Considering the game is more than willing to point you towards most of what needs to be done, it's playable. Certainly playable, and it's pretty fun.
Hey.
Oh, hello, another foreigner.
Whoa, unbelievable.
What? Okay. Put your hands in the air like it... Yep, never mind. That's a bad joke, even for me. Battle music just started, so I'm going to assume I'm fighting okay. Oh, I get it. I got a protector. Alright. You. Up. No. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. There we go. The side missions are actually pretty varied too. Like there's one of the missions is a stealth mission. Actually, that's a story mission, but yeah, it's a stealth mission. There's one where you have to go talk to people in order to find out a bunch of stuff about what's going on in the story. There's just a lot of stuff here, and what I've played of it so far is pretty good. I will admit, like, I've liked what I've played of it. I'd like to play more. Probably won't, because I just don't have the time, but I'd like to give this game more of a shot, and I'd like to ask Spike Chunsoft to consider localizing at least this one. I know unfortunately that the PS3 is pretty much dead, and this game and the other game don't really work without each other. I mean, you can play one of them solo, but, you know, playing both of them to get the full experience is something they'd probably want. It'd be nice to see it over here, but, you know, it's been almost 2 years at this point. I don't think it stands a chance of coming over, which is a shame. But if you're looking to play it, the sword combat is fun, if just a little bit odd or a little bit stiff and a little bit lacking in variety, just a tiny bit. There's plenty of interesting stuff to do in the forms of the missions, and the whole, like, sword fighting system and all that is nice and interesting. The whole, not the sword fighting system, the Ukio system is interesting and all that too, and it's neat, is what I'm trying to say. It's pretty neat. I enjoyed what I played of it. Would I recommend it for import outright? Not really, but at the same time, like, if it ever goes on sale, or if you can get it cheap, or, you know, you can pay like $50 for it, or if they localize it, I'll definitely pick it up if they localize it. Yeah, that's the way to a story event. I don't think we'll be doing that. We've been here for 33 minutes. That's enough for me. So, yeah, if they ever get around to localizing, I'd be more than happy to pick it up. It's a really interesting game, and if you want to pick it up in Japanese, you can play through the majority of it just fine without having Japanese knowledge. You just need the translator if you need to figure something out, which is not very often, considering I managed to get through the entire first chapter of the story and only really needed to pull it out like twice. So there you go. This has been Blue Maxima, and I'll see you all next time.